Hey, good morning. Good morning to everybody who's been enjoying this conference so far. It's hard to believe this is the last day of the conference, and this will be our last yoga session together. So for those of you who have been doing yoga with me for the past 4 days, you know what to do. Settle in, settle down, start to bring the breath longer, a little smoother. Just start to get into the yoga mindset, I guess you could say, which is just being in the moment. That's all it is. Just breathe. Notice the quality of the air around you, the light, everything. Just breathe and be. And for those of you who haven't seen me before and are just trying this out, I'll say 2 things to you. One is this is a breath-based yoga. Everything is done in coordination with the breath. So if I say inhale and raise your arms, you just inhale, feel how that lifts the body slightly and let the arms rise up with that momentum. And if I say exhale, lower the arms, just exhale, feel how the body naturally starts to go down and let the arms follow that momentum. And it doesn't matter where you put the arms, to be honest. If I say inhale, raise the arms, and you can do this, exhale them down, great. If you can do inhale, raise your arms because of your shoulders, and exhale down, that's great. Because one definition of yoga is just taking a step further than you did last year, last week, yesterday, or even one breath ago. So don't worry, flexibility comes on its own. Just do what's right for your body. And that's my second thing. It's not Simon Says, you don't have to do what I do. I'll give a couple of options for each pose, and then you adapt that to what feels good for you. Don't push it. So let's get started. We'll start with some twists because we're trying to wake ourselves up for the last day of MAFA. So you may want to move a little forward in your chair to make room for the twist. You've got your legs hip width apart, and take one hand to the opposite leg, and the remaining hand can just rest behind you on the chair. Or if you really want to twist, hold on to the back of the chair. So let's start with a nice deep inhale, fill the chest, rise up. And as you exhale, just simply turn, keep the gaze level, and then turn your attention to the inhales. Feel how the body naturally bobs up, and on the exhales, maybe there's a little bit more space in the pose, maybe even a little bit more twist. So we're wringing ourselves out like a dish rag here, which sounds terrible, but it's a good thing because we're getting some circulation to the abdominal region, getting that lymphatic fluid pumped a little bit, just energizing up the organs in there. So on your next exhalation, just relax the entire body gently, and without even trying, we come out of the twist. No rush, always take your time. And then of course we have to do the other side, right? So take the other hand to the other leg, remaining hand behind you on the chair, or you can hold the chair for extra twist. Start with a nice rising inhale, fill the chest. Exhale, simply turn and look to the side, and then switch your attention to the breath. Feel how on an inhale you naturally lift a little. Notice on the exhale you sink a little, and maybe there's a little bit more space in the pose for you to twist a tiny bit more, maybe not. But you don't have to try. If you're doing some nice filling inhales and long, easy exhalations, the pose will take care of itself. And on your next exhalation, simply gently start to turn your whole body into a soft, relaxed state, and you magically come out of the twist. So we'll do another twist, and this time we're going to have a downward gaze. So as you twist, look downwards towards the bottom of the wall. So again, hand to the opposite leg, remaining hand behind you or holding the chair. Nice, smooth inhale. And as you exhale, twist at the hips, but look towards the lower part of the wall. And breathe. Make the breath long and smooth and easeful. Even in a tight twist like this, find the ease and the effort. And here we're simply just twisting another part of the spine and back, as well as still giving circulation to that abdominal area with all the organs in it, working away all the time. Let's give them some appreciation by doing the twist. On your next exhale, simply start to soften your whole body, and very gently you'll come out of the twist. And then, we have to do the other side with the downward gaze. So just be very mindful every step that you take. Hand on the leg, remaining hand behind you. Notice right there, you're already in a twist, what that feels like. If it was tighter than the other side or looser, give yourself a nice, good inhalation. And as you go into the twist, look downwards towards the lower part of the wall, and then put your attention back to the breath. Nice, slow inhales. On the exhale, see if there's a little bit more ease in the pose. Maybe a little twisting action happens on the exhalation where you didn't think there would be any more room to twist. And notice how the inhales and the exhales each have their own place in the pose. And on your next exhalation, soften your entire body and come back to the front. No rush. So we're going to do one more twist, and this time we'll have an upward gaze. So you don't have to look up to the ceiling or anything, but just as you go into the twist, let your eyes look up. Check if there's any cobwebs on the upper wall ceiling and see where you find yourself in the twist. So take that arm to the opposite leg, other hand behind you. Start with that nice big inhale. Exhale into the twist with a slightly upward gaze. Actually, I can't check for cobwebs on the ceiling. I can't gaze that high, but I can look about a foot above my shoulder. And then breathe. Inhaling, feel the ease. Exhale. Try to relax into the pose. And this is a tighter twist than the other two versions. So don't worry if you feel a little bit tight here. And don't worry if I'm holding it a little longer than the other ones. Just find the ease within the effort. Let's have a good twist of the upper back here. And on your exhalation, very gently and slowly, allow yourself to move out of the twist very gently, very slowly, because that's a strong one. And we have to do it on the other side now too. So take one hand to the other leg, remaining hand behind. You know the drill now, right? You can do this from now on forward. So inhale, rise up. Exhale, turn into the twist with an upward gaze. And then put your attention on the breath. Notice how on the inhale, there's not as much room to rise. And on the exhale, it just may feel like a much tighter twist. And that's because it is. And here you may notice that one side of your twist was a lot easier or a lot harder. We're doing the upper back here, which tends to suffer from hunching. And I noticed when twisted to the right, it was very tight. And when I twist to the left, it's easy peasy. So that's interesting. On your next exhalation, very gently relax the body and very slowly allow yourself to come out of the twist. And then we'll do a little bit of upper body work with the arms. So here I'm going to give you two options, and then you can, of course, modify either of those options to what works for you. So we're going to take the hands in front of the chest, palms together. And then you have the option of either inhaling and simply open out the hands, stretch out the fingers like you're catching rain or sun, whatever your weather is. And on the exhale, allow them to come back. You can even open them a little bit more. And on the exhale, feel how the torso and shoulders move down. Let the hands follow back in. The other option is on the inhale, allow the hands to rise up, open out, palms face the ceiling, stretch the fingers. Exhale, move them back together, palms come together, and the hands end up back where you started in front of the chest. So even there, inhale, rising up, maybe your gaze lifts as well, fingers stretching. Exhale, feel how the body starts to come down and forward. Let the arms follow that momentum back to the chest. So keep on going. This is a version of tree pose, Vrikshasana, but this is a seated version so that we don't have to stand on one leg to do this version, which I like. So whichever version of tree you're doing, you're opening up your hands, stretching out your fingers like little tree branches. And the exhale always brings you back. And if you're matching it to the breath, that nice filling inhale will almost automatically open everything up. And the exhale, you'll feel the body and shoulders closing in, and it will bring everything back for you. So we'll do one more. And the next time that the hands come back in front of the chest, go ahead and let them rest in the lap. No rush. Lose yourself in the breath. The movement is secondary. So now we're going to do another sort of strenuous arm movement. It's in the warrior category. So here you've got two options. One is you can simply bring the hands down alongside you, wherever that feels comfortable. Find your range. On the inhale, your palms are turned upwards, and on the exhale, they're turned downwards. So you could be down here, and it's a twist of the wrist, really, isn't it? So you're rotating the palms forward, slightly upward, rotating them down towards the back. If you want to take it out to the full pose, exhales, rotate the palms down. Inhales, rotate the palms up. And just keep going at the pace of the breath. And if you're doing it this way and it starts to get strenuous, bend your elbows and go down to a lower version. That's fine. And if you're doing it this way and you don't feel it, on the inhale, twist those pinkies towards the ceiling. And a couple more breaths, because this is a strong one. And the next time you inhale with the palms up, just stay there for a second. And then you can gently bend the elbows and bring everything back home to the lap. And then we're just going to interlace the fingers and give them a stretch here. Feel the forearms stretching, the wrists, the hands. Change the interlock of the fingers into the awkward position. Give them another stretch. And sometimes we need to think, oh, that is the awkward one. Maybe I should stretch on that way more than the other way, right? Try the harder way a little more. Then release the fingers and we'll go into warrior. And warrior is taking one leg off to the side, wherever it feels comfortable for your hip structure, because this front leg is, the knee is facing forward, the foot is facing forward, the ankle is directly under the knee. That's our stability. On this side leg, if you can bring it out perpendicular, great. If you can't, great. Just make sure that the ankle is under the knee. That's your stability, right? So we're going to bring the hands back up to the chest here, and two options. Inhale, open out the hands. Exhale, let them fold back in. Or full cactus version, where you take the elbows up to the shoulder level. Inhale, let the chest fill and rise. Exhale, come back to the start. You choose what works for you. But in this one, inhale and really let the chest fill and rise up. Exhale, you just go back to where you started. You don't have to do anything on the exhale, right? So really fill up the lungs. And if you're doing it full cactus, you'll notice the shoulder blades are getting a workout. The elbows go back on the chest filling. Things come back. If you're doing an opened lower version, you're still going to feel those shoulder blades, right? So either way, you're still working. And meanwhile, we're working our side leg as well. So on your next exhalation, bring them back to the chest and let the hands come back down to the front leg. And then we'll do a slightly more energized form of the twist. Again, a couple of options. One is just bring the back of the hand against that inner knee. Actually, we can also do this because it's the same. So bring the back of the hand to the inner knee. Make the other hand into a little teacup handle. And then one option is to inhale, let the body lift. Exhale, turn and look a little upwards, and that elbow will bend a bit, right? Just go to where you feel comfortable and breathe there. The other option is to inhale, rising up, and as you exhale and look over your shoulder, you'll see the arm slides down against the knee to wherever feels good. Some of you may be able to go all the way down towards the floor. This is a version of Trikonasana, triangle pose. So if you're not already in the pose, you can do it with me. Back of the hand on the inner knee, inhale, exhale, look over your shoulder and that side elbow bends. Or maybe you want to have that arm straight and let it slide down the inner knee a bit. It's all good. Just exhale and relax backwards into the pose as if you were exhaling and sinking back into a soft mattress. Quite a good side stretch and a twist. And to come up, inhale, press the feet into the floor and gently allow yourself slowly to rise back up. So I'm really working you guys this morning, energizing you to finish off the last day of the conference. So then we'll bring that side leg back to the front and the other leg goes off to the side. The front leg has the knee going straight ahead, the foot straight ahead, and the ankle is under the knee. Side leg, you've got the ankle under the knee. Wherever that leg is, perpendicular or not so perpendicular, ankle under the knee. And then we'll take the hands to the front, and here you can just feel that twist. Take this side arm, put the back of the hand against that inner knee. The remaining hand becomes a little teacup handle. And then you know the drill. You've got two possibilities, but both start with a nice filling inhale. Exhale, turn and look over your shoulder. Maybe your elbow bends and that puts you into the pose. Or maybe as you exhale and look over your shoulder, that side arm slides against the inner knee. Wherever it takes you, use your exhales to soften back as if you were laying back in a soft mattress every exhalation. Quite a strong one here. And to come out of it, on an inhale, press both feet into the floor and gently, slowly let yourself come back up. Always be nice and gentle. And then we'll get a little bit of twist happening into the rest of the lower back and legs. Take a hand to each knee, and now we're looking on the diagonal, right? We've got ourselves diagonally into the chair. Again, ankles are directly under the knees. That's the foundation. Start with an inhale. As you exhale, move the chin over the knee, keeping the gaze level, And the inhale will bring you back up to center. And the next exhale will bring you chin over the other knee, level gaze to keep the back long. Inhale, cable cars you back up the mountain to the top. And just keep going at your own pace. And here I'm going to be quiet for a minute so that you can really get lost in the breath here. Use your exhales to go right into the pose. Let the inhalations float you back up. Go ahead, get totally lost in your breath for a minute. Just keep the gaze level. And the next time that you inhale yourself back up to center, just stay there. And when you get there, you can release that side leg back to the front. No rush, take your time. Now, hopefully we're all back in the same spot. So we're just going to take a foot and flip it. Flip it so that the tops of the toes are against the floor. And if you're able to, flip the other foot. So you can have that right under the chair off to the side. Off to the side's a little bit easier to balance if you're not used to this. Underneath the chair gives you more of a stretch to the top of the foot. And notice you are getting a stretch to the top of the foot, to the ankle. All of these muscles are having to go in the opposite direction that they usually do. So we're getting some work to the ankles and feet. Place your hands perpendicular on your thighs. And then all you have to do is inhale and press your thighs. Up you go. Lift the gaze if you like, as much as you want. And notice if you let your gaze come to the ceiling, your head will rest on the shelf of your shoulder muscles. And you can breathe there or wherever you got up to, just breathe. Make the breath again, sculpt it long, smooth, even and easeful. Be an artist with your breath. Take the time to really breathe. Every exhale, maybe you soften and ungrip yourself a little bit more into the pose. Remember, the definition of yoga is going a little further than you had been before. It's bravery, right? But at the same time, with wisdom, don't go where you know you can't make it. So on your next exhalation, just relax the entire body very slowly, very gently, so that you come out of whatever position you were in slowly and gently. And you can release the hands, release the feet, sit back in your chair. Go ahead, put your back against the chair. Take a little rest here. We'll do a breathing technique, which makes the inhales a little bit longer than they usually are. So that energizes us because that's what we're trying to do, right? Power up for the day. So place your fingers on your nose, just where the bony part, or I guess it's cartilage, ends. So you're just above the nostrils. And then block the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril. And then when you exhale, release so that you can go through both nostrils, exhaling down. For the next inhale, block the left, inhale through the right nostril, and then release, exhale both nostrils. We inhale up through the left nostril, exhale both, and just keep alternating which nostril you're breathing through, but you're always exhaling through both nostrils. Go ahead, let's take 1 minute to breathe again. Sculpt your breath, keep it long and easeful. Be a master of your breath. I say if you can master your breath, you can have control of your body. This puts you in the driver's seat. And they also say that the breath is the bridge from the external world to the internal world. So if you're feeling stressed or maybe blocked for ideas with your work, try this breath. You can also do it the reverse, where you inhale through both nostrils and exhale through one. That elongates the exhale and calms you. This one that we're doing is an energizing breath. And the next time that you exhale, let the hand come down to the lap. No rush. And then use another exhale to allow the chin to sink down to the chest and just breathe there. And I always like to give you a quote for the day. So here's my quote. It's from my favorite Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Not that I have many favorite Roman emperors. And Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, and to love." So take a nice deep inhalation and a longer exhalation. And one more nice filling inhale, and make that exhale nice and long and easeful. And then on your next inhale, let your head gently rise, gaze lifting. And I just want to say thank you so much for doing yoga with me. And thank you to all of the volunteers who use so much of their time to make MAFA 2021 happen in this very challenging way, doing it online. I'm part of the volunteer thing. I do their Instagram. Believe me, people worked really hard and they're volunteers. So thank you especially to Margaret Briggs. Have a wonderful rest of the conference. Thanks for joining me for yoga. Have a great day.